you are throwing away 7,668 pesos every year. That's 64%. So yung point ko lang naman is, ano naman point ko? Sama talaga ng epekto nito sa akin. Hi guys, today share ko sa inyo yung mga tips and steps that help me save 40% of my income. Give or take lang yung 40%, minsan mas mababa, minsan mas mataas. And hindi lang naman ito pagmamayabang kasi yung goal natin is palakihin yung savings para makapag-invest tayo. And nakuha ko lang din pala yung mga tips na to from other people like YouTubers na sina Matt Diavela, Andre Jake, Graham Stefan. And this is just a way for me of paying it forward. So ano nga bang purpose ng pagsisave natin ng mas malaking pera? Syempre, to set up our future. And make sure na hindi tayo magtatrabaho hanggang 60 years old or 65 years old. Nood tayo ng maraming videos about investing and nagre-research pa tayo kung paano nga ba makapag-save. Pero kung at the end of the day, hindi mo naman gagawin, hindi mo rin naman susundin yung mga tips, baka mahirapan tayo makapag-save and makapag-set up para sa future natin. So ayun, kung makapagbigay ako ng tips sa inyo on how to start, ang problema mo na lang is how to sustain it, and we can talk about that in the future. Gusto rin natin i-emphasize na hindi mo kailangan ng napakalaking sweldo para makapag-save. Like yung sinasabi ng Serenity Prayer, dapat nakafocus lang tayo dun sa kaya natin i-control, like our personal behavior, and focus less on the things that are outside our direct influence, like paano ba magkaroon ng malaking sweldo or paano ba ma-promote sa trabaho ko. I mean, sure, dapat binibigay mo lagi yung best mo sa work para makapagbigay ka ng value dun sa employer mo. Pero at the end of the day, decision pa rin nila or discretion pa rin nila kung bibigyan ka ng promotion or pay raise. And speaking of pay raise, yung pinakaunang tip na i-share ko ay you should pay yourself first. Or more concretely, pay your future self first. Ang pinakamalaking barrier siguro sa pag-i-invest ay yung pag-transfer ng pera regularly. So yung ginagawa ko is nag-set up lang ako ng auto-transfer or auto-debit from my bank account to my broker. So that way, tinanggal ko yung friction ng pag-i-invest or pag-transfer ng pera. In my case, semi-monthly or every 15 and every 28th of the month. And nakakatulong siya kasi hindi ko na kailangan isipin palagi na ay nakapag-transfer na ba ako this month? Nakapag-transfer na ba ako for the end of the month? Kung wala ka pa naman investment broker, especially ngayon kasi ang daming nag-a-apply sa Call Financial, sa AAA Equities, PhilStocks. Kasi nga nagka-pandemic, so sobrang daming taong gustong pumasok sa stock market. I think naka-close pa ngayon yung openings nila, yung pagbubukas ng account. Kaya yung pwede mong gawin ngayon is make sure na you have a GCash account and then you can use the G-Invest feature and you can save there for as low as 50 pesos. Hindi naman required na globe number yung gamitin mo, kaya pwede rin mag-start investing through GCash, G-Invest, yung mga ibang networks. Actually, good start din yung pag-i-invest sa GCash, G-Invest. Parang it helps you get your feet wet in investing. And then, pag nakita mo na nag-gain yung portfolio mo or tumataas yung value ng mga investments mo sa GCash, baka ma-realize mo na meron pa palang ibang streams of income na available sa atin, hindi lang yung salary natin, which is our main stream of income. Share ko lang din no, na yung average millionaire inside or outside the Philippines have 7 sources of income. So, hindi sila focus sa pagkakaroon ng isang malaking salary. Ang focus nila is how can I create another source of income that will supplement my current sources of income. And most of the time, yung sagot dyan is pagkakaroon or pagtatayo ng sarili niyang business. Pero para sa ating mga hindi business-minded, pwede natin gawin is start investing because investing is a true and tested form of another source of income. And then finally, before you start paying yourself or before you start investing, make sure na meron ka ng emergency fund kasi this will prevent you from experiencing the full blow of a financial crisis. So kung may emergency fund ka, ito muna yung gagamitin mo before you start touching your investments. Ang kagandahan din ng pagkakaroon ng emergency fund is hindi mo na kailangan siyang dagdagan pag na-meet mo na yung goal mo. That could mean 3 months worth of salary. For me, it's 6 months. For other people, it's 1 year worth of their salary. Pero kung ilang months man yung goal mo, it gives you the peace of mind. Example, hindi mag-pan out yung investments mo, meron ka pa rin magagamit in times of crisis. Yung second tip natin is to make sure na you cut down on your unnecessary subscriptions. Unnecessary is subjective for different people. For me, it means subscriptions na hindi ko nagagamit on a daily basis. So example is Netflix or Spotify. And kung kailangan ko talaga ng Spotify, I can always use the web version which is free. Pero yung YouTube Premium, nagagamit ko siya everyday. So para sa akin, sulit siya. So kayo, I suggest na you do a review of your current subscriptions And then, make sure na i-filter out yung nagagamit nyo lang para alam nyo kung magkano yung spend nyo for this particular type of subscription. Hindi rin lang to limited sa mga media streaming platforms like yun nga, Spotify or Netflix. Pwede nyo rin i-cut down yung mga example online newspapers or online articles, email blasts. I-review nyo lang talaga and make sure that you keep the ones that give you the most value. For Netflix naman, nagagamit ko lang siya like 2 to 3 times a week pag meron talaga akong downtime and wala akong ibang magawa dito sa kwarto. Pero yung savings para sa akin is nakikigamit lang ako ng account ng nanay ko. Kaya siya yung nagbabayad. So if may opportunity kayo to share a Netflix account or a Spotify account, make sure na gagamitin nyo yun kaysa naman kayo yung nagbabayad ng full subscription. Alam ko na napakaliit lang ng subscriptions na yan, around 150, 159, ganun ba every month. So kahit gano'ng kaliit pa yung subscriptions na yan, kung hindi nyo naman nagagamit, baka mas magandang ilagay na lang natin sa investments para at least doon may chance siya na mag-appreciate and mag-increase ng value. Yung next tip ko is track your expenses. Ayoko maging madrama pero ito talaga yung nagbago sa personal finance journey ko. Even before mag-start pa ako sa investing. Nag-start yata ako mag-track ng expenses ko nung college, which is at least 5 years ago. So yung main advantage for me ng pagtatrack ng expenses is meron kang complete history ng mga expenses mo nga. You can see how much you're spending this month, this week, this year. Tapos pwede mo siyang i-compare sa previous month, sa previous year. Free app lang naman sa mobile yung ginagamit ko. Pero para sa akin, kompleto na siya. And hindi ko naman ginagamit lahat ng features. Ang kailangan ko lang is yung pie chart, tracking expenses. Hindi ko rin ginagamit yung pagtatrack ng salary. Minsan natitreat ko siya as some sort of journal. So for example, kailan nga ba ako huling bumili at kumain ng isaw? So isi-search ko lang dun sa app, tapos lalabas na siya. Yung isang example pa is nakakailang milk tea na ba ako or nakakailang coco na ba ako. Which is sobrang dami na. Sarap kasi ng panda matcha milk tea. Ayun, anyway, this is just a quick tip. Pero ayun, I cannot stress enough how much this changed my personal finance journey. So guys, again, track your expenses. So yung next tip is to uninstall your shopping apps in your phone. It's almost so obvious, no, na kung wala kang way para ma-access yung bibilhin mo, syempre hindi ka makakabili. Pero parang naming tao nahihirapan na tanggalin sa phone nila yung mga shopping apps na to, yung mga food delivery apps. Yung sagot ko naman dyan is instead of mindlessly browsing through Lazada, through Sephora, hindi po ako nagsi-Sephora, naisip ko lang yun. And through Shopee, baka mas magandang tanggalin na lang natin and i-install na lang natin ulit kung may kailangan talaga tayong bilhin. Kasi yung tendency, pag meron tayong Shopee or Lazada sa phone, nabubuksan natin yung app kahit wala naman talaga tayong intensyon na hanapin or bilhin. Kaya yung nangyayari is mindlessly browsing. Tapos pag may nakita kang item na, uy, ang ganda ng pagka-present sa akin, ang ganda ng marketing. Before you know it, nag-add to cart ka na pala, and ayun na, nandiyan na yung budol mo after a few days. So, paano ko nga ba na-force yung sarili ko na magbawas ng shopping apps? Actually, it started with this book, Make Time by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky. So, yung book na to is like a work-life balance book. It's about getting back your lost time, yung time na ginagamit mo sa social media, yung time na ginagamit mo ng extra OT. So, in one of the chapters, they talk about infinity pools or like a social media vortex. Ito yung mga cases na nagbukas ka ng Twitter, so mag-scroll ka, and then magbubukas ka ng Instagram, mag-scroll ka ulit. Pero wala ka naman talaga na-achieve by doing that. And worst case, sometimes you even feel bad kasi bakit yung ibang tao nagkakaroon ng time to post, tapos ikaw nandiyan ka lang sa bahay mo, nakaupo. So parang wala na nga siyang positive na nagagawa sa'yo, nagiging destructive pa siya in your mental health. So in order to combat that, yung suggestion nila is a social media detoxification. So yung ginawa ko, nagtanggal ako ng Twitter, nagtanggal ako ng Instagram, and Facebook. Actually, yung Facebook, matagal na akong walang Facebook account, naka-deactivate siya. So, hindi na siya big deal for me. Yung main advantage ng pag-uninstall ng social media apps is hindi na ako nahihila or hindi na ako nag-fall victim sa social media vortex. Another benefit is I receive less targeted ads, so less temptations to spend din. And that means mas makapag-save ako and mas maakalat ko yung pera na yon sa investments ko na mag-grow and accumulate over time. So the next tip is to learn how to say no to sales. Guys, kung may nakita kang sapatos na 10K yung original price, tapos naka 50% off, and binili mo to kahit hindi mo naman kailangan kasi may sapatos ka pa sa bahay, hindi ka nakatipid ng 5K. Gumastos ka ng 5K. Yun. Guys, walang batas na nagsasabi na pag sale, kailangan mong bumili. Ako personally, bibilin ko pa rin yung 10K kung hindi naman naka-sale, pero kailangan ko talaga. Pero you have to be careful din and conscious sa mga binibili mo kasi most of the time yung mga material things na yan, nagde-depreciate sila in value. Alam niyo ba guys na yung kotse, pag nilabas mo siya ng kasa or ng dealership, nababawasan agad yung value niya at that moment by 20%. And hindi ko naman sinasabi to dahil I'm against brand new cars, pero make sure lang na magagamit nyo talaga regularly yung kotse. Kasi ngayong panahon na to, hindi natin masyadong ginagamit yung kotse natin kasi nasa pandemic. Saying no to sale and saying no to the things that you don't need to buy is saying yes to more savings and saying yes to more investments that can catapult us to financial freedom. So for this next tip, makikita nyo guys kung gaano talaga ako kakuripot. Hindi dahil ayokong gumastos, kundi dahil gusto kong makapag-save na mas malaki. I'm talking about using a prepaid SIM over a postpaid SIM. Alam nyo ba itong current SIM ko ngayon since high school pa to, even before the 0917 movement or transition. Kasi ngayon, yung mga 0917, sila yung postpaid SIM ng Globe, pero I think ako na lang yung 0917 sa buong Pilipinas na prepaid pa. So yung ginagawa ko dati before the pandemic is to use GoSakto 90. Meron siyang 2 GB worth of data for 7 days and all text to all networks. Multiply it by 4 weeks, you spend 360 pesos for a month. So try natin compare yan sa postpaid plan. The closest one I can find is this SIM-only plan 999 with 10 GB data, only calls and only text. Sa prepaid SIM, you are spending 4,320 per year. Tapos sa postpaid naman, you're spending close to 12,000 per year. And if you will opt to use prepaid SIM naman, you will be saving 64% of that postpaid plan. And emphasize ko lang ulit na for us working from home, baka mas malaki pa yung savings mo dyan kasi hindi ka naman palaging maglo-load ng prepaid mo. Hindi mo laging gagamitin yung GoSakto 90. So the lesson here is you don't need a postpaid SIM during this pandemic, especially kung work from home ka naman. So if hindi enough yung Wi-Fi speed and Wi-Fi bandwidth niya sa bahay or sa apartment, dahil may kasama kang kapatid or parents or kung sino man yung kasama mo, mas maganda na i-upgrade mo na lang yung Wi-Fi plan kaysa naman mag-create ka pa ng additional bill in the form of the postpaid SIM. So yung last tip ko that helps me to save more than 40% of my income is avoiding fast fashion. So yung meaning lang nito is umiwas tayo sa mga fashion style or clothing items na uso lang for a few weeks or a few months. Tapos pag hindi na uso, hindi na natin gagamitin. Kung napapansin niyo sa mga videos ko, I only wear gray shirts. Hindi dahil hindi ako naglalaba, kundi dahil I started downsizing my closet a few years ago. So, hinanap ko yung mga shirts na nakatambak lang sa cabinet and dinonate ko siya dun sa mga typhoon victims from a few months ago. Tapos, tinira ko lang yung mga basics. Yung other advantage naman nito is pagkaligo ko sa morning, hindi ko na kailangan mag-spend ng extra time sa pagpili ng susuotin. Kasi ito lang naman yung damit ko, gray shirts lang. This is more behavioral and being aware na I don't need a lot of clothes to be able to survive. Some people may say or may think na wala akong fashion sense, pero that's okay kasi as long as presentable naman ako and comfortable, okay na yun para sa akin. Yung naging inspiration ko for this change is again si Matt Diavela. Minimalist kasi siya and I try to emulate his teachings as much as I can. If interested kayo sa productivity and minimalism, I highly suggest you check out his videos. He also creates content about personal finance and investing, pero US context nga lang. So yun guys, that's how I save around 40% of my income. Emphasize ko lang ulit na hindi ako nag-start at 40% kaagad. Nag-start ako from 10%, 20%, and then slowly ramp it up until umabot ako sa current status ko. Yung mindset ko kasi is, if I want to retire earlier than the average middle class, I need to save more, I need to invest more as early as I can so that I can live off of my dividends, live off of my investments as early as possible. Kasi yun din naman yung point ng typical retirement, di ba? Yung pera na sinave mo through the government programs like SSS and Pag-ibig, sila yung magsaserve as income replacement pag nag-retire ka na. Ang point lang ng investing journey natin is to create additional assets that will give us passive income para hindi tayo mag-rely heavily on the government programs. Pag nagawa natin yon, we will be financially free and financially independent and we will have the choice kung ipagpapatuloy pa natin yung pagiging active employee, working for an active income, or mag-enjoy na lang tayo sa life kasi binubuhay na tayo ng investments natin. So if na-enjoy niyo yung tips, make sure to subscribe kasi I release a video every Sunday about personal finance, investing, trading, and pagiging matipid. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram kasi I post daily stock market updates. Bye!